Hey friends, it's been a while. I have excuses, but I won't tell them because they're not interesting. So let's go and get into this video. A lot of misconceptions surround recovery, and I want to address some of those. One of the most critical ones is the fact that you can't be wishy-washy with recovery. For me, I tried to be wishy-washy, and I tried to do it when I didn't want to. Well, you never want to because it's hard work, but wishy-washiness, let's just get into that. I consider that like you're eating X amount of calories and you increase it by 200 or one set amount. And the problem with that is you are most likely going to experience extreme hunger. It will probably happen to you. There's not a way to restrict your recovery and do it healthily. Recovery just requires you to go full force in, and that also includes exercise. Now, these are all ideas that were surrounding me. I entered in recovery and I thought, if I have increased breakfast by this much, and I can still exercise, but I'll increase breakfast by this much and see what happens. I still had a recovery mindset because I was open to the fact that I might require more. I just didn't know how much that meant. And for those people who think and are steadfast in their idea that I'm only going to increase it by this much and I'm still going to converse with those eating disorder thoughts, like I'm going to exercise, I'm only going to stick to 200 calories, it's not going to work because the eating disorder is very adaptive. So I've definitely experienced this in my journey with anorexia, and it's been okay. My mom, when I was a teenager and I had it and I was still in our house, my mom forced me to eat the sandwich, okay? But I'm going to restrict everything else. And if I were to, even though the sandwich was an upgrade from what I normally ate, I adapted to that. So if I ate that sandwich and incorporated that, I could not add like chips with the sandwich because that's outside of the norm, and my eating disorder adapted to the norm. So it's very adaptable, and it will restrict you in any way. So even though you have that 200 calorie or whatever increase you have, your eating disorder will adapt to that and not let you go outside of those bounds. And the idea here is to break the chains of this restriction that you have with your eating disorder and to recover. So wishy-washiness with your recovery does not work because you need to go full force in order to truly feel the beneficial effects of recovery. If you do the wishy-washiness, that is putting you into the quasi-recovery zone, which I've made ample videos about. If you have any questions about that, of course, comment and look in my channel. And I mean, a lot of people have covered quasi-recovery, but I feel like quasi-recovery is a special type of hell that is the worst of your eating disorder and the worst of recovery conjoined. Let's talk about the worst of recovery. A lot of people think that going into recovery is like skipping through a field of flowers with a sundress on, letting your hair free, no makeup, just, oh, it's a beautiful thing. No, it is not. It is a toll on you emotionally, physically, everything. And that's not to scare you, but it's to prepare you. It's not this thing that you can see in movies where, oh, the protagonist finally gave up her evil anorexia ways or orthorexia ways, and now she is carefree and doesn't wear makeup. And it's not like that. It's hard, and it is brutal, and it is full-time effort, and it feels like your eating disorder is replaced with recovery because you're thinking about it, and it's all you can focus on, and it's all you look up on YouTube, and it's all that you think about, and it is hard. And it is hard for a long while. Recovery isn't a matter of months, it is a matter of years. And of course, you're going to go through different stages in your recovery within those years, but it is still years. I've been in recovery for 2 years and I still struggle on a daily basis. And I wish I didn't have to admit that, but I do, and I need to fight the voice that comes in. I need to fight the thoughts, and sometimes when things are stressful, it's really hard to not. It's really hard to fight. But I do, because of all of this knowledge, and it gets easier and it gets less intense and the thoughts come less frequently, but they come, and the body needs to heal, and it takes months and years for it to heal, because even if you've had an eating disorder for a matter of months, those thoughts are transient, the behaviors are transient. It's just within you, seething and waiting for you to show weakness so it can pounce, and you can't let it do that. So it's a matter of years, but it's not going to be as hellish as when it first started, if that makes sense. Length, wishy-washy. And I was also surprised by the intensity of recovery. I already mentioned that it's not a field of flowers, but it's like you tend, as for the body, when you go with restriction, when you go off of exercise, it can be, you gain a lot of weight quickly. And that's very good. That's very good, because that means the healing process can start very quickly. But I was surprised how I gained the weight, especially comparing myself to videos that I saw online of recovered people. I was like, I looked around on these YouTube channels and I didn't look like these girls that I saw. I had this weird distribution, and I gained a lot of weight, and I was bloated, and you could see it in my face, and I didn't understand, like, it just didn't match up. And that's completely normal. There's studies abounding about the research of the distribution. I don't know if people on YouTube are just strikingly lucky and they just document that, but I just didn't understand why the skewed distribution was so, like, present on YouTube. Also, the vegan, I didn't understand that, because a lot of people with eating disorders are vegan, and I mean, I'm not gonna say my thoughts on that, but just so you know, if you're not vegan, you're not alone, and you're not a bad person if you don't go vegan. So, yeah. Those are some of my thoughts. I hope to make, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm actually leaving for Spain on Friday. Whoa! That's awesome. Yeah. I'm studying abroad for 5 weeks. I'm so excited, but also terrified, because it's, but I'm going to try and make videos. I really have no idea how it's going to work there, if my host family even has a Wi-Fi, but we'll see. But hopefully, maybe I'll see you in a new location. Maybe I'll put in a couple fun videos before I leave, but hey, I'll talk to you later, and if you have any questions, if anything resonated with you, or if you have any arguments, please chime in, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.